Hey guys, Darren Mitchell here, and I hope you're enjoying a really productive week so far. Wanted to talk today about motivation, and it's a key area to focus on, particularly as a sales leader, or even if you're a general leader out there. One of the things that often comes to me in terms of leadership questions is around this topic of motivation, and certainly in the sales game, which is where my background is, many sales leaders believe that it's their duty, if you like, or their responsibility to continually have to motivate their team to perform at a high level. Now, if you do that, it becomes really, really tiring. And we talked a couple of weeks ago about this concept of developing independent thinking within your team versus dependency or codependency. Now, the thing to understand is if we as sales leaders or as general leaders continue to focus on how we motivate our team, and if our team are then dependent on us to do that, then we've actually started to embed this culture of codependency, which is what we don't want. Because we need to understand this thing, that motivation, and there's two types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic, or internal and external. Motivation comes from within. True motivation comes from within. You can go to a sales conference, you can go to a personal development, professional development seminar, and you can get excited and quote unquote motivated over a weekend or over a day. But what happens 9 o'clock the next morning, 9 o'clock the morning after that, it needs to be something that you are individually motivated by in order to get up, make that call, reach out to that prospect, close that sale. So here's the thing, from a sales leadership point of view, we need to stop actually being the people responsible or believing we're responsible for motivating our team. It has to come from the individual themselves. So the question I asked these guys was, when was the last time you actually sat down and looked your team member in the eye and asked them the direct question, what motivates you? Or what brings you back day after day after day? Now, these guys had sales teams where people in the team had been with the business 5, 10 plus years. So there was something that kept bringing them back. Now, their throwaway line was obviously the cash, it's obviously the perks that come with the job, etc., etc. And yes, to some degree that's true, but there's been research done over many years, particularly in the sales arena, where motivation by money is actually, yes, it's in the top 10, but it's down the bottom of the top 10. There are other things that tend to motivate salespeople, as weird as it sounds, other than money. So the question I've got for you, whether you're a sales leader or whether you're a general leader out there, ask the question of your team, what motivates them? What brings them back every single day? Because that is the gold you'll be able to find and utilize to create an environment that will be inspirational for those guys to be motivated to get the job done. And no longer are you going to have to be reliant on setting up your Monday meetings, doing your one-on-ones to try and motivate your team to perform because you've already found out what motivates them in the first place. Your job then is to create the environment where they can actually motivate themselves to get the work done and get the job done and get the performance up to the level that it needs to be. So, from your point of view, ask that question. If you haven't, it's actually a really interesting question. Now, if you've got 10 people in your team, I guarantee you that 5 or 6 of them will have completely different motivations. And if you ask that question, because I can guarantee you based on my experience, most people don't ask that question, and I certainly didn't get asked that question when I was a salesperson, and certainly haven't been asked that as a sales leader either. So if you want to differentiate yourself, ask that question. You'll be able to find some great information and utilize that to your advantage. So guys, as always, if you've got any questions, please post them below. Love to see your comments. Until next time, may your week continue to be a really productive one. All the best. Cheers.